And
we are live. We are live, Mr. or Senor.
Deval, come on, man. You do the intro, please. Come on, please.
Senor. Buenos dias, Toro. Toro.
I love it.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, amigo. ¿Cómo estás tú?
Muy bien.
¿Qué haces?
Muy bien. I gotta think.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
Yeah,
This
one
guy.
day we'll do an international show with all the films that we talk about will be international films.
You know what?
And on that day, we'll put in some language in that as well.
And exactly, we would. You know what? That is actually going to be a really good idea. Actually,
Yes,
all
let's do it.
international movies.
Yes.
Oh gosh,
the whole thing, everything from news to trailers to the whole lot.
And I'm talking about like regions that we would never even know about. Yeah. We got to speak about it. We got to see what's going on in the world, man.
You should have done it this week because this week has been about international tariffs.
Harmony.
about international
tariffs. It has been. It's been tariffs, man.
Look at what films are in that country.
Exactly. Go for it.
Good. Yes. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the Flixters podcast. If this is your first time here, what is the Flixters podcast? The Flixters podcast is a place where I and he, where we entertain, we inform, and sometimes we do educate. Actually, sometimes we do.
We do.
Thank you for downloading the show. And today we're going to talk about some movie news, trailers, what's new on streaming. We've got a couple of films we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
And everything in between. We're going to have a laugh. That's what we do.
Exactly. Yeah. So, Devaldo, let's start off with our usual shout-outs.
Yes, we've got a couple of shout-outs today. I think, is it a couple?
Yep.
We've got a couple. One is a birthday for Cloud Watcher Uno.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Cloud Watcher Uno. Not sure how old Cloud Watcher Uno is, but he's not young. Let's put it that way. But it's a podcast, Cloud Watcher Uno. Go check him out on Instagram, on TikTok, on everything.
Yeah.
And it's a podcast about music, all kinds of music. If you like music, go and check out Cloud Watcher Uno. Second shout out.
And you went to you went to one. Sorry, I was going to say you went to one of his one of the gigs or something, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. So now and again, he has an event where he invites live acts to perform. So when he's not actually podcasting with different artists around the world, he actually invites them in to perform.
Yeah, wicked. Which is great. Yeah. So go check that one out.
And next shout out goes to I'm Mo Kamal. So Mohammed Kamal, go check him out on Instagram. Actor. He's been in Indiana Jones. He's been in The Crown. Been in all sorts of stuff. So go check out. And
he's been on this podcast.
He's been on this podcast as well. Yes, we do. And we are going to try and get some more actors on this podcast, as well as getting back Mohammed Kamal. His Instagram is I'm Mo Kamal. So go check him out. But we'll get him on again and some more performers and actors in the world of movies. So
brilliant. Check it out. All right. Okay. And remember, folks, you can watch this episode on YouTube. You can subscribe. You can comment. Like this, honestly, we love it when our listeners, our watchers comment on stuff, interact with us, get in touch with us, engage, do it. And also we've got an Instagram page, which we maintain ourselves. We don't leave it to someone else to do. We do it ourselves. That's how. Exactly. All right. Go check us out on Instagram or YouTube. All right. Okay. Let's get into movie news now. Listen, look. There's a kind of a lot of stuff going on in the land of movies. But this one we have to speak about. So we know that Spider-Man 4 is going to be happening. Deval, the way it ended in the previous one, we had the 3 Spider-Men. They were brought in from different universes. And then the whole kind of twist at the end of that one was everyone forgets who Peter Parker is. They forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And then it's like a reset. So Deval, tell us about this, because this is pretty big.
Yeah, so they've revealed the title, Brand New Day.
Mm.
This Spider-Man is now going to be coming out on the 31st of July, 2026, which is
Yep.
just over a year's time. So in that same year, we're going to get Avengers Doomsday. That's going to be a good year, hopefully. But this Spider-Man will obviously see the return of Tom Holland, Zendaya, but also Sadie Sink.
Yes.
So they're throwing everything at this.
So are we? Who do we reckon Sadie Sink? Sadie Sink could be what? What's her name? Who was the other girl interest that he had?
Oh, gosh, my mind's gone blank now because you got Mary Jane and then you got the one that was a daughter of the police officer, the police chief, who was in Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes, yeah. Oh gosh, she's in it. Sadie Sink, and yeah. Go on. I know you're going to say it. You're going to say it. Yeah, go on.
Who her character?
Yes,
Gwen
you're
Stacy?
saying it. Gwen Stacy. That is it. Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
And Devout, interestingly, so the person directing this one is Destin Daniel Cretton, who he directed Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, exactly. So
why not John Watts? What happened? Creative differences?
John Watts, I think he's had enough. I think he's had enough.
He did 3 movies.
I think he should have a break because he's done 3.
He delivered 3 great movies.
Maybe he was also supposed to do Fantastic Four and then pulled out. So maybe he's had enough of Marvel. He wants to go and do some other stuff, and I don't blame him. Sometimes you need a bit of a breather.
100%, 100%. Yeah. So they've roped in Destin, and maybe Deval. Could there be a Shang-Chi connection in there as well? Could we get
Possibly. He's also in the running to direct the Shang-Chi sequel. Also, he's directing Wonder Man. You know that?
Oh yes, we've spoken about it on the show as well. Yes,
Wonder Man. So,
and Simu Liu.
And Naruto.
And Simu Liu, I hope I'm saying that's his name, Shang-Chi, the actor who plays Shang-Chi, he's going to be in Doomsday.
Yes, and he's also in Last Breath, which we're
going to speak about in a bit. I wanted to add that little bit of connection in there. So listen, go check that out. If you're a Spider-Man fan, if you're a MCU fan, then you're going to be happy about this news. So we're going to be getting it next year. Now listen, let's move over to DCU. We know that things are hotting up in DCU. We've got the imminent release of Superman, which is coming really soon. We're going to get Peacemaker again. We've already had Creature Commandos. James Gunn, he's working really hard to get kind of new stuff out there, but this is big. So Deval, a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about obviously Batman. We've said, look, they've got Robert Pattinson. He is the Elseworld Batman. We had Joker, who was Joaquin Phoenix. And then I said to you, well, listen, look, they're going to be introducing a new Batman in The Brave and the Bold. They're going to be introducing a Robin or a Nightwing character, I think. So, Deval, tell us who we getting cast as the new Batman.
They are reaching for the best.
Reaching.
Alan Ritchson, who is
AKA
Reacher. Jack Reacher. Is his name Jack Reacher?
Jack Reacher, yeah.
No one ever says Jack. They just say Reacher. In the show. No one's ever said his first name, but yeah, Reacher. So he's the mountain of a man. He looks like he could, be Batman, and he's now going to be Batman in the new sort of James Gunn world. And it's funny because he was also already in DC with Hawk and...
He was in Teen Titans.
Yeah, Hawk, yeah. The live action. He was Hawkman. So he's coming back into DC. But yeah, I think this is an interesting one. He's going to be a proper meaty version of Batman.
Beef.
So, yeah, let's see what happens with that one. I think that's a good choice. It's a good choice.
Yeah. And he's ripping shit up, and he's obviously in Reach right now, season 3, which I got to catch up on. He was in this movie with Superman. It's a World War. Do you remember
the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Gentlemanly Warfare or something.
Yeah, kind of like an Inglorious Bastards, but a British version type of thing. It was good. It was good. And he popped up in that one, so he's getting noticed more. And I think the Reacher thing kind of helped him out. So this is big. Being cast,
Batman, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is going to be big. This is going to be big as Bruce Wayne. So this is interesting. So listen, look, keeping it with DCU, let's speak about this. So Devaldo, they they released the Superman extended trailer. And at first I was like, oh, I've already seen this thing. And then I was like, the kind of the no sound. All you just see is Superman crashing into the snow. And then all of a sudden we see the bit about the dog. But then you don't see the after bit. So we get to see the Fortress of Solitude. We get him being taken there by those robots. We kind of get this extended thing, but what are you making of it, Devout? Are you excited, or are you just kind of like, look, we'll wait and see what happens?
Yes, I'm on. We'll wait and see what happens. I'm not getting excited about anything anymore when it comes to comic book films because but the only thing with DC now, they've got someone new involved. Well, as in that James Gunn is now sort of taking a fresh approach on it. So we know he can do good. He can do, he can make these films. Superman it's a big film. It's one of the biggest, comic book. Everyone knows Superman.
I think they've got a lot of riding on this one.
Exactly. Big pressure. So I think there's a lot that can go wrong. Whether it will go wrong is another thing. But the new trailer just gives us a bit more. And also, I think it just cements the James Gunn tone. There's always a comical element. Even when the robots were talking in the trailer, they're like,
it was James Gunn.
Robots. Exactly. So you kind of know the tone. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. Well, listen, look, we're definitely going to watch it. We know it's coming out in July, and we know it's going to be competing against Thunderbolts, and it's going to be
Fantastic Four's in July as well.
Exactly. So there's going to be, I wonder if James Gunn looked over at MCU and thought, okay, so those guys are bringing out, Fantastic Four, which Devaldo is a big movie for MCU.
Big IP.
Because it's failed. And it's failed so many times before. So there's going to be a bit of competition between DC and MCU, which is healthy. Competition is always healthy. So we'll see what happens over there. And obviously, Deval and I will be watching it out in the summer, big summer blockbuster movie. So we're going to be watching those movies and we're going to be speaking about them. We're going to end movie news on this one. Actually, Devaldo, we didn't mention this on last week's show. I just forgot about it. Man, George Foreman, he passed away as well.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
George Foreman passed away. And the reason why I bring this up is because if people don't know this, obviously, he was the world champion, rivalry with Muhammad Ali, but there's a brilliant documentary linking it in with the movies, brilliant documentary called Welcome to the Jungle about his fight with Muhammad Ali.
What, the Thriller in Manila?
So that was the second one. So that was the Thriller in Manila was the second one, and Welcome to the Jungle was the was their first one. So Foreman Ali 2 was Thriller in Manila. But I just thought, you know what, man, he did so much for the sport, and then there's movies, and also I kept seeing my feed on Netflix. There's a whole George Foreman movie as well now. Yes, there's
it's got,
and it stars Way of the Dog guy.
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker is in it. He plays his coach. I don't know who actually plays George Foreman, but I'll need to check it out. It's quite recent. And then we have to say this, Val Kilmer, we mentioned Batman. He played Batman amongst kind of other things. And that thing that you do, Deval, when kind of like you hear about someone passing away, I kind of went online and I thought, I kind of started having a look, and then I started skipping through the Batman movies, and I started watching Batman Forever. And you know what? Set aside the campy bits, the Two-Face, and it's a joke. The movie is terrible. It's a joke of a movie. But you know what? Val Kilmer, he did bring a bit of seriousness to the kind of Bruce Wayne, that kind of broodiness, that kind of mysteriousness. He did bring it. And, he was in Top Gun recently, in Top Gun Maverick.
Tom Cruise, he's gangster because the way he brought him in, remember, he had throat cancer. So he brought him in a way that he could just text. And then later on in the film, they used AI.
It was a reveal.
To help his voice. But I think the best film I've seen him in, and there might be other films that he's done that I haven't seen, but the best film I've seen him in is The Ghost and the Darkness.
The Ghost and the Darkness. When they're hunting the lion. Yes.
That film.
Yeah, I remember that, man.
90s, I think.
90s with Douglas.
Is Michael Douglas in it?
Michael Douglas is the guy
Is it?
in it as well. Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
can't
yeah.
remember.
I
But
think.
yeah, that's a wicked film, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's a decent film. That is, I remember that one. What else? I'm just trying to think. So obviously, Batman. He's done that. He's done other things. Famously, on the Batman shoot, apparently the film director said he would
It's hard
never
to work
work.
with.
He was exactly, yeah. He said that he would never work with Val Kilmer ever again. Like apparently he had this reputation of being a difficult person, challenging person. But
Mm.
listen, do you remember? Did you see the movie Heat?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was in that
Yeah,
as well. Yeah.
he was in that. He was great in that as well. So yeah, so if you're interested in Val Kilmer, his
Mm.
filmography, go check it out. But yeah, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. All right, okay, let's get into new on streaming. Now, Deval and I mentioned this on last week's show because we saw the trailer and we were
Big
like, okay,
Ali.
we put it on our watch list. Now, Deval, I want you to break this down because you know what? This is a madness. So, on Netflix, they're pretty good at putting out documentaries and about these cons that happen. And we've seen a few of them, about the bad boyfriends and about, crypto, scams and things like that. But this one takes the biscuit and, it was released over Mother's Day in the UK. It's called Con Mum. But Deval, man, this is bad.
Yeah, this is a crazy, crazy documentary. If you haven't seen this, go to Netflix now and type in Con Mum and watch this documentary. This is the true life story about a man from the UK who's a chef, a really actually quite a
He's been on
successful
TV.
chef. Yeah, he's a successful chef. He's got a fiance as well, or wife, I think. Yeah, and basically his background, his upbringing was really tough. His mum disappeared when he was young. His dad was an alcoholic, so from a young age he's been kind of on his own. Trust issues and stuff like that. So he's just sort of gone out there, been successful, and then while he's in his, I don't know, he was in his 40s, I think.
40s or something, yeah.
His mum contacts him out of the blue and says that she's got only 6 months to live, and she wants to rekindle a relationship that has been non-existent, and he's looking for that. He wants to obviously get to know his mum before she dies. So she gets her way into his life bit by bit. She starts, she's basically also, she says she's from a rich family. She says
Yeah.
she's
The
linked to the
daughter, the
Sultan of
illegitimate
Brunei.
child of the Sultan of
Yeah,
Brunei.
yeah. So some rich like Arab money, or are they Arabs? I don't know. Are they? Brunei is more to do with Asia, is
Brunei,
it? I don't
Asian
know.
kind
But
of, yeah.
anyway, rich, rich, rich.
Yeah.
So, and she says when she dies, she wants to pass over the money to him.
And we're
So
talking millions.
millions. His eyes are lighting up. So, long story short is she basically finds ways to get money out of people by the premise of, oh, I'm rich, I pay it back, sort of thing. And bit by bit, she gets him to buy cars. She gets money and stuff. She all kinds of money.
Hotels,
Hotel, yeah, because she stays in the hotel, like five
like
star.
5-star hotels.
Yeah, like proper big, like hotels in London and stuff, and all over the world. So basically, long story short, is she gets lots of money out of him, out of her son, out of people, ruins his relationship. With his wife, they have a child, and it's just a big fat mess. There's other bits that I'm not talking about because they are good surprises, but
Yeah.
you need to watch this. This is one like an hour and a half. It's a one sort of feature length documentary,
Yeah.
and it is really interesting. Honestly, yeah.
Wicked, yeah. It's really good. I just thought this is mad. Like, you get the kind of like cons that you get, like people don't know each other and they con them, but this is so kind of close to home and everything. So yeah, go check that one out.
She claims to be like 85 or something, and she can barely walk. She's using like
Yeah.
kind of
Like she's on a
wheelchair
Zimmer
or kind of
frame or something,
Zimmer
like,
frame. Yeah, so how can someone, mate?
man, seriously. And there's a big twist in there as well, at the end.
Yeah.
But man, that guy was fleeced.
He was fully fleeced.
Fleeced. So go check it out if you love those documentaries and you love those kind of, just to prove just how much of bastards we are. Like, go check that one out. Now the other thing that's out on streaming, this is on Amazon. This is called The Bondsman. We actually spoke about this and we saw the trailer not too long ago. So this is Kevin Bacon. He's been resurrected from the dead, but he has to help out in capturing, was it zombies again or something? Oh no, he's capturing
Demons, I think.
demons.
Yeah.
for the devil or whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it. You know what, Deval? This is what I'm gonna do with this one. I'm gonna give it an episode. I'm not going to be expecting much. I'll see how it pans out, and then we'll take it from there. But it's out on Amazon if that tickles your fancy. Kevin Bacon's watchable. He's a decent actor.
Yeah, he can the bacon, doesn't he? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there you go. There you go. Trailers. Let's move on to trailers, Devaldo. Quite a few. Dangerous Animals. Now, just remind us, everyone, what's this?
Yeah, this one is a kind of like what's that? Is it Cape Fear? What's that film where they're on a boat? And it's De Niro or something, or I don't know, something.
No, Dead Calm.
Dead Calm. Okay. So this one
is that one the one that you're talking about? Cape Fear is the one with De Niro where he's stalking the family.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the one on the boat.
Dead Calm.
Yeah. So this is a film. It stars Jai Courtney, who we saw in. He was in Die Hard 4.0, I think.
Mate, he's Boomerang.
Yeah, he's Boomerang. Yeah, that's I flipping forgot. Yeah, he's Boomerang in Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
and he was also
Australian.
I first saw him in Spartacus, their TV show.
Yes.
It was Varro, Tend to the Wound. So this is the film, sort of a thriller about a free-spirited server who's abducted by a shark-obsessed serial killer.
Oh my God!
And he captures people. He holds them captive on his boat, and he's a shark-obsessed serial killer. So you can imagine
what he's doing.
Yeah, feeding people to sharks and stuff like that. He's fascinated with how sharks eat and how they hunt.
Oh
so you can imagine what he does. Yeah, he's sick. He's sick. But this is the film Dangerous Animals, and it's coming out soon. So yeah, give it a watch. It looks mad. Watch the trailer.
Yeah, it does. Now the second one called Max. Now this isn't about Apple MacBooks, is it?
Get that one. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Let's delete that. Okay, so this next one then. Let's move on. Fountain of Youth, Deval.
Yeah, Fountain of Youth. So this is Apple TV. So this is an Apple TV film, which stars actually. It stars. What's his name? Krasinski. Yeah.
Okay.
John Krasinski. Also stars Natalie Portman and Aitha Gonzalez.
Okay. Yeah. And it's directed by Guy Ritchie.
So this is a bit like Tomb Raider: Lara Croft. Is a bit like who's the one with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg that was.
Drake.
Like Drake's Uncharted.
Yeah.
It's like that basically. So they're basically siblings, Krasinski and Natalie Portman, and they're there they're looking for the Fountain of Youth. They're like historical, historians and stuff like that. They like to, know about the world and artifacts and stuff like that. So you can imagine they're searching for the Fountain of Youth for educational purposes, and someone else is searching for it for monetary purposes. A bit shady. So it's a bit of an adventure. So,
it reminds me a bit of. Do you remember The Mummy with what was her name?
Brendan Fraser
and everything. Yeah, so kind of Indiana Jones-esque type of a thing.
Yes.
All right. Yes. Now this next one, this trailer I actually did see. And you know what? The reason why this is kind of funny is because I kept so they've on Netflix Naked Gun, the original Naked Gun movie that kept popping up on my thing. I was like, oh, so they've got Naked Gun now. Leslie Nielsen. I remember I used to watch that movie all the time. So this one is a reboot, remake, whatever, and it stars. Oh my gosh, Devaldo, this is mad. This is getting Liam Neeson to do comedy. I don't know if it's a good combination, Devaldo, but this looks mad. There's a bit in there where it starts off all serious, and then you see Liam Neeson in underwear.
Yeah. I thought it was one of them serious films at first. I thought, okay, here he is, long coat, beating people up, camera. He stays still, the camera goes around him. But this is mad.
It's gonna be ridiculous and funny but bad in a way type of thing. So yeah, go check that out. If you're a fan of the original Naked Gun show and series film movies, then you might find that interesting.
He's in this one.
Who else? Go on.
Pamela Anderson's in this.
Oh gosh, right,
She's in
okay.
this.
So Pam, yeah, all right. So Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson. So go check that out. Now, listen, this one this one, Devaldo, this trailer looks mad as well. So Megan, we saw the first one and we reviewed it last year, and it's your kind of like AI robot gone rogue, turns killer, and there's a whole kind of horror element and thriller element to this whole thing. So Megan's back, but the whole trailer developed. I remember watching the kind of trailer where she's doing like pole. Is it? No, it's not pole dancing, is it, or something?
With that dance.
Yeah, that weird kind of dance thing, and I was just like, it's
Yeah.
freaky, it's crazy, and yeah, man. But tell us about this.
Yeah, so this is Megan 2.0. So this is the return of Megan the Killer Doll.
Mm.
And basically they've brought her back because there's another doll that is doing a madness too. So there's another
Oh,
doll that is doing worse things, like a really advanced AI doll, and now they need someone to try and stop that doll. It's
from
almost like like
the enemy of my
Silence,
enemy is my
yeah,
friend type of
like
thing.
Silence of the Lambs when Jodie Foster goes to Anthony Hopkins for
Yeah,
advice on how to get another killer. So in this one now, they revive her, they give her upgrades, they give her a new body and all that, and now she's trying to help them catch this new killer doll. And obviously, people are reluctant because they know what Megan used to do,
yeah.
but this is Megan 2.0, so hopefully she's turned over a new leaf.
Oh my gosh.
So, but yeah,
So
this
this
looks
is
interesting. It looks the same kind of madness.
same
It's
madness,
mad.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, James Wan. It's got Blum.
yeah.
You know, it's James Wan produced and Blumhouse. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. So we'll watch it. We'll check it out and we'll review it on the show. All right, okay. Let's get into anniversary corner. So this one from 20 years ago, 2005. We're keeping it water based at the moment. So this is called Into the Blue. And Val, I don't think I've seen this one, but I know Jessica Alba's in it, and I know Paul Walker's in it.
That's all you need to know. So this is 2005, and this is basically about deep sea divers who basically, as they're deep sea diving, as you do,
Mm,
they somehow come across drug smugglers in the Bahamas, as you
mm,
do. So then obviously now they're seeing what's going on. Paul Walker, he's a good guy. People see him and they know he's going to do the right thing, which he has to do. So then he now has to try and find out who these drug smugglers are and stop them
yeah.
from smuggling drugs in the deep blue sea in the
Mm,
Bahamas, which is just
mm.
beautiful paradise.
Thanos is in this. I didn't even know.
What's his name?
Josh
Josh
Brolin.
Brolin. I
Yeah,
think he might be. Is he the baddie in it? I don't know. I think he might be the baddie. Tyson Beckford's in it. Scott Kahn is in it.
yeah.
Who else is in this?
James
Yeah.
Caan's son.
Oh, is it? Okay, okay. Oh, James Caan's son. Okay. So yeah, so that's
Um,
what it is. Yeah, it's one of those sort of in this film. I think, Paul Walker, the late Paul Walker, isn't it? He
yeah.
hasn't got he doesn't wear a shirt. I think throughout the whole film,
It's
something
probably one of
like
the
that.
selling
Yeah,
points.
yeah. His shirt's off the whole time. So and
And she's looking pretty
Alba,
skimpy as well.
yeah, Jessica Alba's in a bikini the whole time. You're in the Bahamas. I mean, what are clothes? What are you
What are
gonna do
you?
with
What?
clothes? What
Where
are you gonna do
exactly?
with
Why do you
clothes?
need clothes, Deval? Why would you
Exactly.
need clothes? So listen, yeah, so that was from 2005. And listen, we added that into our anniversary corner because it, lends to the kind of the first movie that we're going to be speaking about, the main movie. So Deval and I, we went out and watched this one. This is called Last Breath. And this is kind of like for me anyway, under the radar, low budget, but kind of one of those important movies because it's based on a true. Actually, Deval, scrap that. It's not even based on a true story. The way they put this out in the beginning of the movie is
Mm.
this is a true story.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a true story, and it's based off of a documentary
Mm.
called Last Breath, and I think
Mhm.
probably a book maybe about the whole thing. I didn't know. Did you know anything about this going into the movie?
Nothing, nada.
Absolutely nothing. It stars Finn. No, is it Finn Cole? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn Cole, Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, who we've seen before in Shang-Chi, and he's.
Mm.
Actually, I don't even think I've seen him in anything else. Val, Have you seen Simu in anything else?
I have, but I don't know what it is. But yeah,
This,
I've
I
seen
think,
a stuff.
this is the second thing that I've seen him in, and so they work on they work for a company that has to deep sea dive and fix cables and
Gas
equipment,
pipes. And,
gas pipes and things like
yeah.
that at the bottom of the North Sea. So the beginning of the movie,
Cold, cold. It's not the
cold,
Bahamas where
dark,
it's warm. It's cold water.
freezing cold waters. And the thing is, at the beginning of the movie, it says something like there are 20,000 miles of kind
Mm,
of piping that
mm,
connect,
mm.
like, countries and everything.
Yeah.
It's
You
one of
need
the
these gas
most,
pipes are really important, expensive.
yeah.
They basically they supply us our heat and our resources. So if they're not maintained,
and
you
and,
know what I
and
mean?
who's going to maintain them? It is people's job to go down there. And the movie kind of states at the beginning, like, this is one of the most dangerous
Yeah.
movies like in the world, type of thing. So Deval, before we even get into the review, and I want our listeners to do this as well, I want you to hold your breath for as long as you can. All right. So listen, if you're listening at home, right now, or wherever you are in the car, I want you to hold your breath, and I'm going to time this, and let's just see how far we get. All
Are
right.
we
So
doing it too?
we're going to do it too as well.
How is it? Okay.
We're doing it. So get your timer on, and the person wherever you're listening to this, here we go. Stopwatch. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. That's it. Okay, I got to 50. I got to 52 seconds. And Deval is still going, folks. So whilst Deval,
Been breathing the whole time, mate. I was letting a little bit of breath.
so
Tom
listen,
Cruise
look,
held his breath for like
breath
3 minutes or
for
something.
3 minutes or something
Something
like that.
mad long. I don't know.
Yeah, it's something crazy. Well, so we're going to get into that whole thing, but the reason why we do that is because obviously,
TV, wasn't it?
if shit happens, Deval, you're a deep sea
Yeah,
diver,
yeah.
and you're like 300 feet below sea level, below the ground and everything like that. What's going to happen? You know what? I watched this movie. I felt claustrophobic. I felt like, oh my gosh, this is someone's job to go down to the remotest places like of the earth. They have to fix it, because if they don't fix it, just like what you said, people are going to freeze to death, like, in winter and things like that. So there's there's a group of deep sea divers, and it starts off as like a documentary, right? It's filmed like a documentary. I thought it's very kind of like, Paul Greengrass-esque, um, they wanted to make it kind of like as realistic as possible, but also at the same time make it edge of your seat thriller, which it is, by the way. And Woody Harrelson's great, Finn Cole's great, Simu Liu's great in it as well. They're building up the tension throughout the whole movie, and the idea is that two people go down, they work on whatever they need to fix, and they've got one person in the capsule who's going to be their kind of their eyes and ears, who can communicate with them and help them and show them what to do. And Deval, as the movie was going on, like within the first 15-20 minutes, like, you just straight away, something bad and something serious is going to happen. And for me, all I kept thinking about, out of the two or out of the three, who's going to die? Like, which one out of because I didn't read anything about the movie before watching the movie. I didn't read up on it. I didn't kind of hear anything about it. So I think go into this movie without knowing anything about it, I think,
Yeah.
is going to do really, really well. But yeah, so Deval, come break it down a little bit for us.
No, it's just, I mean, you've done it quite well. I think people just need to understand that this is something that these are the jobs that happen in the darkness, in like just away from the prying eyes. These are the jobs that actually keep us going,
Yeah.
but they don't get paid half as much as they probably should.
Mm.
These are jobs that like the old school men will go and do, that no one else wants to do. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they should be really celebrated for it. But
Yeah.
yeah, this film just looks at things that can go wrong, just little things that can go wrong. And in these jobs, if they go wrong, you can die. Like in my job, if I make a mistake, maybe I didn't send a file or I didn't send an
Send an
email,
email.
the world still ticks. You know what I mean? But in this job, people lose their life,
Yeah.
and a lot of this role is a lot of to do with this film. They looked at the real science behind the job, behind the incident, the
Mm.
amount of time. I mean, this person, the person that lost his ear, the ear that basically the mistake that happened where he lost his oxygen. He
Mm.
was without oxygen for 27
Mm.
minutes.
And Deval, we did 30
27
seconds.
minutes.
We did
Exactly.
30, we did 30, 40 seconds, and Tom Cruise did 3 minutes underwater. This guy is underwater in his suit without oxygen
It's
for
crazy.
28 minutes. So
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, they kind of give you the breakdown and they say,
Yeah.
like, this is how long he was under for.
He should have
Um,
been dead.
he
He
should
should have
have
been
been
dead.
dead. Like,
Because after
and
about 4 or 5 minutes, you get hypoxia. Hypoxia is where
mm,
the lack of oxygen that goes into your brain and can cause brain
brain
damage.
damage.
Yeah, and that usually begins from 4 minutes. Anything more than that just gets worse and worse and worse. The fact that he recovered somehow, they said that, I think they said that one of the reasons why he may have recovered is because of the depth that he was when he
Right.
suffered the loss of oxygen.
Yeah.
Normally, even a scientist to this day cannot explain why he recovered after
Why he
27
survived.
minutes. That's an episode of EastEnders. 27
Trust
minutes.
me.
That's an episode of The Bear. Like
Exactly.
it's
It,
crazy.
it's
You know?
madness. And there's a bit in the movie where, like, this accident happens, and you're thinking about the North Sea. Man,
Mm.
those waters are rough, Deval.
Oh, dark and cold, man. Trust
Like,
me.
proper
Mm.
rough.
Yeah.
Something happens to the ship,
There's a
and
storm, I think, isn't it? I think there's a
yeah, there
storm or
was
some
stormy
sort of.
weather and everything. Something happens to the ship, so all the, like, Murphy's law, whatever happens is going to
Mm,
happen. Like, all the bad that happens, and
yeah.
it does happen.
Mm,
And then in my head, I was thinking, no way. The ship
mm,
goes faulty. This then happens. This is
yeah.
like your typical Hollywood movie. But no, this shit is real and it
Mm,
happened. And this guy, this diver, this oxygen supply got cut off. And then he
mm,
got his teammate was kind of had to, was separated from his teammate. And then there's
mm,
bits in the movie where you see this diver, he's lying there and he's just
mm.
basically shaking.
Yeah. I think it's the muscle spasms. I think that's part of when you deep dive and when you come back, this is obviously deep dive.
Yeah, yeah,
When you come back to regular surface, you have to go through decompression.
yeah,
Otherwise, you get decompression sickness, and that's where
yeah. The
the
bends.
nitrogen in your system sort of forms into bubbles and stuff, and it
And
causes
you
crazy sort of pain.
explode.
And yeah, exactly. You can die from it if you're not treated. So stuff like that, because the body is chemistry.
Mm.
There's all kinds of chemicals going on. Chemicals react differently to different temperatures. So when he was under there, like shaking, that's the body literally trying to, the bubbles and all the chemicals trying to react to the
Yeah.
situation. It's deep. It's
It's,
deep.
trust me. And people listening might be thinking, well, oh, how do we know that this happened? Well, we know that this happened because they had a drone that they could,
Mm,
with a camera that was
mm,
fitted on there, could go to those depths and
mm,
actually see and,
yeah.
investigate and everything. So, like I said before, there is
Mm,
a documentary. Devout,
yeah.
you know what? It was edge of your seat stuff. It's
It's
very,
educational
like,
as well. Yeah.
educational, man. Like, my hat off to these people who do these jobs. Like, they go on
Yeah.
mining rigs and they do the crazy, crazy, crazy jobs.
Yeah.
um Woody Harrelson is in it. And there's a bit at the end of the movie where you see a shot of the real people, and then you see the Woody
Yeah,
Harrelson like guy, and they do look similar.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
do
Because
look
he
similar.
literally he got married like 2-3 weeks after that
Weeks
incident.
afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And then they go back down there again. So there's a
mm,
bit of kind of bit at the end. But yeah, as a piece of filmmaking, great man, edge of your seat stuff, right?
mm. Yeah. I think it's worth a watch. It's
Yeah.
not the most glamorous film, but it's
No.
definitely worth a watch. There's a quick fact here that says the human brain can normally only go 5 minutes without oxygen before sustaining damage. This person, his name's Chris, he survived after nearly 40 minutes underwater despite only having 10 minutes worth of gas. So call it half an hour. I think it was 27 minutes to be precise, where the
Holy
oxygen had gone,
shit.
it run out. With no lasting effects, So
Mm.
he's lucky, 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 lucky.
Mad, mad, mad lucky. So yeah, go check that out. That's called Last Breath. Definitely worth a watch.
Mm,
Now, the second movie that we're going to be speaking about, or Deval's going to be speaking about, is called Death of a Unicorn. Now, this is an A24 movie. We actually saw the trailer a while ago, and we said it looks like a bit of a mad one.
mm.
It's got Paul Rudd. It's got Jenna Ortega. It's got who the British guy who's going to be he's going to be big. He's
Hugh, not
becoming
Hugh,
big.
Hugh Grant. Oh, you mean what's his name?
You know
Not
who I'm
Hugh
talking
Grant.
about.
Will Poulter.
Adam, Will
Yeah,
Poulter.
Will
It's got
Poulter.
like it's got a whole host of people in there. So Deval, please take it away. Death of a Unicorn.
Yeah, so this one won't be a long, long review, but this is a quick review.
Mm,
This is Death of a Unicorn A24, usually Say No More.
mm.
And this one, directed by Alex Schaffman. Alex Schaffman has previously directed stuff that I've never seen before. House of Spoils, or produced
Okay.
House of Spoils, Resurrection, Blow the Man Down. I don't know, stuff that I've never seen before, but I'm sure it's
Yeah.
good stuff. But yeah, so this one, Death of a Unicorn, is about so what's his name? Paul Rudd is a lawyer,
Mm,
uh, and he works for this company who are like a pharmaceutical company. Jenna Ortega is his daughter, and she's quite an ethical person. She's the sort of person that would go to protests and stuff like that. Uh, their mum, or her mum, his wife, passed away of
mm.
cancer. So he's a single dad. Richard E. Grant, Tia Leone, they are
Yeah.
the pharmaceutical company sort of bigwigs. They're the
Yeah.
moguls. They are rich. They own a pharmaceutical company and they want to make money. That's it, really. And then Will Poulter is their son. And then you've got some other supporting actors along the way as well. But they're the main people. So on the way to Richard E. Grant's house, because they're going to basically, Paul Rudd is on the way there to go and formalize some sort of agreement
Yeah.
of some sort of life insurance thing where, because Richard E. Grant is dying, basically. He's got, I don't
Mm.
know what condition he's got, but he's got to die. And
Cancer. Is it cancer or something?
I think it might be some sort of cancer, yeah. And then
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is now going to be part of the trust or something once he dies. So
Yeah.
he has to go there and formalize it. They want to meet his daughter, see what kind of man he is before they obviously give him this trust. On the way there, they run over a blimmin'. He knocks over a unicorn. Knocks over the
As you do.
unicorn.
As
They
you do.
see it and they're like, "What the heck?" They're kind of freaked out. It's a bit of a comedy as well. The
Yeah.
tone isn't sure of itself. So it's a bit of a comedy. He the unicorn starts to shake, so he knocks it. More blood comes out, purple blood, and a bit of the blood goes on his eyes. A bit of blood goes on her face. They get to the house and they realize her acne's cleared,
Oh.
and now he no longer needs glasses. So it's like this unicorn's got healing factors.
Yep. Healing powers. Yeah.
Long story short, the people in the house find out they've knocked over the unicorn. They can't hide it because they try to hide it at first, and then they realize bit by bit that the unicorn might have healing properties.
Mm.
So what's the first thing they do? The man's got cancer. They give
Yep.
the man the
The
unicorn blood,
unicorn blood.
and the man pops out of bed and he is healed. Man's almost doing backflips. Before he couldn't get out of bed. He was proper
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
now,
Comatose, basically.
now, yeah, his color looks different. He looks 20 years younger, Richard E.
Yeah.
Grant.
Yeah.
So then that happens now, and then obviously Jenna Ortega, she's really ethical. She doesn't like what's happening at all. she does her research because her mum also likes unicorns. So she does her research and realizes that from years ago, unicorns were feared. They weren't this like,
Mm.
My Little Pony kind of creature.
Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah.
were they were like, velociraptors back in the
Lethal.
day.
Yeah.
And there was like a lore, there's like a bit of a history about them that people used to hunt them down. Unicorns would come to life if they're killed, and they would kill the people that killed them.
Shit.
And she says, "This is a warning, guys. Don't do it. Don't do it. They're gonna kill us." And they're like thinking, "We got the cure for cancer. You want us to stop this?" No.
Yeah.
So no one listens to her. Basically, these unicorns, or the one that they kill is the baby one, and then the mum and dad now get involved, and
Oh,
yeah, shit turns serious.
serious.
It turns into a bit of like Jurassic Park. Which one was it again? The one where they were in a house.
Oh,
Fallen
yeah,
Kingdom or something, I think it's called.
yeah, yeah,
It
something
turns
like
into
that.
a bit of
Yeah.
that. So they're in a big mansion.
So they're being hunted by the
By the
unicorns.
unicorn, yeah. And they've actually got a few helpers in the house. They've got scientists and they've got some helpers or bodyguards who've actually got guns. So they are
Okay,
they are armed, but still these guns aren't enough, man.
for
These
the
unicorns
unicorns.
are different, yeah. So
Yeah.
unicorns, and some of the deaths are crazy. Like people are getting disemboweled. Like
Oh.
there's one scene where the unicorn's eating someone's like intestines, all coming out.
Which totally flips the script on like
Yeah,
unicorns being like cuddly
exactly,
and like all
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm. Even the horn, one of the unicorns, the horn is like jagged. It's like he puts it through someone fully, and you see he pulls it out, and then there's a hole, and you see Paul Rudd through the hole. It's mad.
It's mad.
But yeah, this is a sort of, I don't know. This is a comedy, bit of horror.
Yeah.
The tone is a bit up and down. You're not sure where it is. Sometimes there are some serious bits in it, but then it's
Yeah.
comedy as well. But Will Poulter's comedy throughout.
Right.
He's
Okay. He's a bit of a
he's
nerd in
funny.
this, isn't he, or
Yeah,
something?
he's funny in this. Yeah, he's funny. But yeah, it's entertaining. It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna break the bank. I don't think they're gonna make a lot of money out of this though, because
Yeah.
I just don't think it's gonna compete with what else is out there. So
So is this
I
a
think
cinema? Is this cinema job or streaming job?
streaming job when you can. I wouldn't. I
Yeah.
wouldn't go. The budget is only $15 million only.
Okay.
It came out a few days ago and it's made $5.7 million worldwide,
Ooh. Well,
which is
oh
tough.
gosh.
Which is
And
only
you
going to go
think,
down from there.
yeah,
But
and you think kind of Paul Rudd. I mean, he's
mm,
quite an established actor. Marvel movies. He's going to be. Is he going to be in Doomsday? Did they announce that he's going to be in it? Paul
probably,
Rudd's in it, probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. But yeah, so it's a funny film. It's not, when I say funny, it's not funny. It's just interesting that this is actually
Right.
happening. You're thinking shit, So it's interesting. Wait for this one to come out on either Netflix or Amazon or something. I don't think you
Yeah.
need to rush to the cinema to watch this. Yeah, that's my
That's
take.
what I thought.
It's slightly entertaining. That's it, but
Yeah.
not shit.
But not shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Quirky.
Yeah,
All right.
correct.
Okay. So out of those movies, Devaldo, which is the one that you'd recommend for people to go out and watch?
I'd
For
recommend
sure.
Last Breath. That's much
Yeah.
more deep, educational. The stakes are high in that.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking for a light film, nothing to think about too much, then yeah, definitely Death of a Unicorn. But
Death of a
depends on what
Unicorn.
your mood is. Yeah.
All right, folks, there you go. That is the end of this week's episode. We really, really hope you enjoyed it. Remember, write in, let us know how long your holding your breath time was so that we can compare and contrast. All right, so on next week's show, Devaldo, I mean, hang on a second now. We're getting closer and closer to
Yeah,
what
we're
we
seeing
get.
a lot more adverts as
Thunderbolts.
well for Thunderbolts. Yeah, it's getting closer. So that's going
It's
to be
getting
soon.
closer. We know that The Last of Us, that's going to be releasing. Well, actually, no, that's going to be on the Sunday. So the following episode after that was,
That's gonna be good.
Last of Us and or those shows are all coming up. Deval, I mean, look, we haven't got time right now, but we haven't even spoken about Daredevil. The last couple of episodes of Daredevil, they've been good. I know Emmanuel's kind of like in our chat group and everything. We've kind of mentioned it a few times, but yeah, I want to speak about Daredevil on next week's episode as well because that's been going on. But yeah, so keep it up with the Flixters, and there's more coming.
Next week, I think it's Warfare. I think that's out next week.
Yes,
that looks good. Warfare,
that looks decent.
Again, Will Poulter's in that as well, I think.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he is. All right, so yeah, I want to watch that one. All right, so folks, we hope you enjoyed the show. Keep it up with us, and we'll see you on the next one.
All right, peace out.